talk about a big problem that I see for beginners, and that is, what do I post? I have no idea where I need to start. What do I need to post? All right. So, this is where you're probably looking at Instagram. You've probably tried creating content and you have this blank post syndrome where you're just looking at it and you're like, where do I start? What do I put in there? What do I say? Like, I've heard about hooks, is that a thing? So the other thing I see happen is that people think that content needs to be clever. It needs to be like trending and all that kind of stuff. The reality is that most beginners need simple, clear posts first. All right. This episode is actually going to give you 4 really easy post types. So if you are a beginner, I'm literally going to give you 4 post types for you to use and rock and roll with. And you can actually cycle through these, especially in your first month. And I promise you, it's just going to be such an easier way to handle social media if you are feeling very overwhelmed at the moment. So let's talk about content, all right? Because you might have heard me or someone else talk about content, and you might be thinking, okay, what is content though? So what actually counts as content? So it's anything that helps buyers to trust, understand, want, or buy. It's basically any marketing that you're going to do when you are creating something to post, okay? So it can be photos, it can be videos, it can be stories, it can be process clips, it can be reviews, it can be tips and tricks and hacks. It does not need to be fancy. The wind is really blowing here today. It does not need to be fancy. Handmade buyers, they want clarity, not cleverness and perfection. Okay, so that is pretty well what content is. Now let's talk about why beginners tend to overthink their social media content. All right, so it's really, I think, a common thread that people, especially when they are in that beginning stage, think that every post needs to sell. So what I need you to think about your content like is I want you to think about your content as something that you are doing for your business in 3 months' time, okay? So if you are staying consistent, with the occasional dip with posting, what's going to happen is that month 1, it's not going to make a difference. I'm just going to be real with you. You might get a few views, you may get the odd sell, but in month 1, set that expectation. It's not going to make a lot of difference, okay? And then what happens is that things start to pick up, and it ends up being like this. This is month 1, this is month 2, month 1, month 2, and month 3. So the way I see it is you doing your social media content, you marketing your business is something that you are doing for your business in 3 months' time. Now, also what you don't want to do is compare yourself to established accounts. All right, you don't want to be looking at their content and being like, oh, I need to do fancy content like that, because the reality is that they've got months and months and even years probably worth of data behind them that they can implement when they're creating content. They know exactly how they need to create posts for their specific account in their specific country for their specific target market. They know what they need to create. You don't yet. All right, and this is why this episode is going to be so good, because I'm actually going to be giving you 4 content types, 4 posts for you to create first. Not every content piece needs to sell. What your content is doing is it's moving buyers closer. All right, so I want to actually demonstrate this. So let's just do a grid, and let's say that every single square is a content piece. And for those of you who are listening to this, I'm just drawing a grid with like a load of different squares. I don't know, I haven't counted them, but let's just say every single one of these is a drop in the bucket in terms of driving buyers closer to actually buying from you, to actually parting with their money. All right, so every single blue dot in every one of these squares is a drop in a dish, a bowl, a bucket, whatever you want to call it. And when the water gets to the very top of that bucket, people then begin to buy. So I don't want you thinking, I've been posting consistently for 2, 3, 4 weeks. Why am I not getting more traffic? Because, like I said, you are doing this for your business in 3 months' time. You're not doing it for now. It takes on average 3 months for your content to start doing something for your business. Now let's go over 4 simple post types, post ideas for handmade business owners who are beginners. You can literally rotate these weekly, especially for your first month, to get you going. All right. So the first type is product clarity. So I'm just writing that down. product clarity. So this is where you are showing exactly what it is, exactly who it's for, and you want to show size, use, details, or occasion. So example here is a closer look at my new dog personalized gold necklace. Okay, you're being very specific and you're literally showing the product. This is actually where, a side note, when you are taking your product pictures, don't just take pictures, take little bits of like little product clips as well. Because then when you come to create reels and product content and all that sort of stuff, you already have pictures and you have video clips as well. So just a side note, never, ever, ever, when you're taking product pictures, just take product pictures, okay? So basically, you are just showing the product, but you're showing it in more detail. And I cannot be clear enough about that. You do not need fancy content. I promise you, you just need something that's extremely clear. The second post type is going to be trust building. Okay, let me just put building in there as well. So trust building. Okay, so this is content types that is helping buyers to feel safe buying from you. Listen, if you are a newbie, if you are a beginner, it is going to take months before people start to know, like, and trust you. That's just the reality of it. You can't expect to become best friends with someone in a matter of weeks. No, like, that relationship takes time to build, especially with strangers over the internet. Okay, so you want to be showing reviews, packaging, materials, quality, all those kinds of things. This is very useful for new Etsy shops with hardly any reviews as well. It's a really, really good one. So things like, can I trust this person? Can I trust this shop? And actually just show why they should trust you. Okay, post number 3 is process. This is a really good one for getting views. You want to show how it's made. You want to show simple clips of your process. I'm not saying you have to literally film the entire thing, but just show simple clips of you actually creating your product. This also does build a lot of trust as well, so it does actually feed into this one as well. Now also what this does is it helps buyers see the skill and the time that is involved here, and it's very useful for explaining the handmade value. The fourth post type here is buyer helpful. All right, so this is where you want to help buyers choose or use the product. You want to answer common questions, common hiccups, common hesitations that people are going to have in your target market. All right, so things like gift ideas, sizing, care tips, personalization help. Basically, you want to liken these to any frequently asked questions that you already have in your Etsy shop or listings. Let's talk about why you don't need to post every single day. More posts does not always mean better post, okay? You don't need volume, you need quality, all right? Now, when I say quality, I don't mean like spend 2 hours on one content piece to make it perfect, because you don't need to do that either. There's two ends to this, and I just think you need to sit somewhere in the middle, all right? So you want to start with a rhythm that you can genuinely keep up with, and this is the reason why. So let's say you've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and for those of you who are listening in on this, I've literally just written that on the screen. Okay, now let's say you are thinking, I need to post every single day, and then the next week you're like, I can't keep up with this anymore. The third week you're only posting Monday. Okay, and what happens is that the algorithm is looking at that and going, this person is inconsistent at best. Like, I'm not going to drive people and traffic. I'm not going to recommend this profile and their content because they're not going to be consistent. So instead, how you really want to play it is you want to start off small, okay? And when I say start off small, I mean maybe just do Monday, Friday every single week. As long as you can promise that even on your worst week, you will be consistent with that, that is good enough for me. And then maybe after six months, you go, okay, well, I can post on a Monday, I can post on a Friday, I can also post on a Sunday as well. And maybe you do that for 3 months. And then maybe after 3 months, you then up it again. Being consistent, start off small, is just the most easiest way to do it, because then you're building up rather than starting off like with this massive idea of posting every day, dropping off, going back up again, dropping off again. Just be realistic with what you can accomplish every single week, especially with your content plan. Okay, seriously, as handmade business owners, we have a bit of a habit of overthinking the hook. of overthinking. How do I start my content? Okay, especially within the caption, and also not just captions either, but if you're doing reels and you have text up on screen, what should that first line be? You might have heard me or someone else tell you how important it is, and you might be thinking, oh, what do I do? So the first line literally just needs to give your people, the people who are viewing your content, a reason to keep viewing it, to keep reading it, to keep watching it. Okay. So here are some examples, and here's 3 that I think are really, really good. You can do, if you're looking for ... and just try that. If you're looking for a relaxing candle for a housewarming gift, look no further. If you're looking for a new baby bib that grows with them, look no further. Something like that. So try that one if you are looking for. The second one is, here's how I make ... and show the process. Now that would be a really exciting content piece. The third one is, not sure which one to choose ? And actually show them all the different types, show them why they need to choose you, just show why they should choose you, or why they should choose that specific product. Try those 3 hooks, and I promise you, it's just going to make content so much easier, especially if you are a beginner trying to figure this out. Okay, so let's say you're an Etsy seller and you've been posting content on your chosen social media profile for at least 3 months, and things aren't still working for you, and you're thinking, what do I need to do? Okay, so I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to check. So the first thing is, are you showing the product clearly? Like, are you doing fancy things? Are you like having fancy transitions and like lots of text and or the opposite? Is it so slow, like your reels, to get going that people just don't really get it? Are you literally showing the product extremely clearly, exactly what it is? Okay. The second thing is, are you explaining who it's for? Like in a very clear, obvious way. If it is for a new mum, are you explaining and showing it's for a new mum? If it's for someone who has a cluttered wardrobe, are you very clearly explaining that? The third thing is, are you building trust? Are you actually posting content that's going to help people to connect with you on a personal level, with your brand, and with, just your products in general? Are you pulling down the curtain of perfectionism and actually showing a little bit more of your process, showing reviews, showing behind the scenes, showing even you as a person? I know some makers are a little bit like about talking about themselves or showing themselves, but in reality, we are living in an AI era. The more you can show your human side in this day and age, that is gold. So if you can do that, I'd recommend that you do. Now, the fourth thing is, are your posts linking back to what buyers need on Etsy? Like, are you actually going, hey, here is the next step that you need to take? Now, also, side note here, is your link in bio very generic? Is it very like, here's my entire website, here's my entire Etsy homepage? The answer is yes. That's also where you're going wrong, because you want to be making sure that your link in bio is specifically for the product that you are talking about that week or that month or that day. So yes, you are going to have to change your link in bio quite a bit, but it's worth it because less people will drop off. All of that is why I now want you to go and download this. It's a 72-page, extremely visual, like there's drawings in there. There's like so much going on in there. It's not a wall of text. It's not homework. You might hear 72 pages and go, oh, I don't have time for that. I promise you, it's not like a wall of text. This is literally called Why Your Etsy Listings Aren't Selling Yet and What to Do About It. It's going to help you to spot why buyers aren't clicking on your stuff, why they aren't buying, why they aren't trusting you, what your bottlenecks are, and exactly how to fix it. So I'm going to leave the link to that underneath this, depending on where you are watching this. It's completely free. You definitely need to go and grab this. If you're watching this on Instagram, if you comment all one word, why no sales, and I will send this to you. It's so valuable. You definitely need to grab a copy of this. I promise you, you will not regret it. Okay, now the next thing I want you to do after you've gone in and grabbed that freebie is I want you to go and watch or listen to episode 116 if you are on the podcast, or if you're on YouTube, I will pop the thumbnail up on screen now. It's called Etsy for Beginners, Why Your Listings Aren't Selling Yet. It's going to definitely help you with everything we have spoken about today. Go and watch that one next, and I will see you all real soon.